Hey, same shit, different day. Living the dream.
Really? It's literally fucking. We've had heat advisories where we're at all week. It's been absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, no, I hope the living the dream is about as sarcastic as I can get.
Well, we're almost to football season. We're kind of like
Oh, thank God.
we're at like the weird tipping point of the sports calendar where we're wrapping up NBA, NHL, then we're into pretty much full blown NFL, and then we obviously wrap back around, but we're smack dab in the middle of baseball. How's your week? How was your weekend, Fawn? What'd you do? Anything fun?
My weekend, it was okay. I played some golf.
Ooh.
Um, Tried to get as far away from the Yankees as I possibly could.
Yeah,
Turned off, turned off all their notifications because they're a joke and a laughing stock. But we're gonna get into that later. I don't want to. I don't want to start. I don't want to start a rant right now.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into the sports stuff, there's one thing I kind of want to just like bullshit and talk about. Uh, Anthony was a wrestler. I'm also a wrestler, and I love wrestling. I really did. I loved it in high school. I had like limited success in the area, all that stuff, but I wish I was good at basketball because you can't wrestle after high school or if you're lucky college, but like I just want to play pickup basketball or some shit. Like you can't go to a park, you can't do nothing. I look like a fucking bum.
No, you're right. There's like there's nothing you can do. I mean, the closest thing you could do to like pick up wrestling is picking street fights on the like just walking around town or something. And
I'm not in that
just start
business.
shoot,
It's
just
random
start
assaults.
shoot, just run up to people, start shooting doubles and throwing the hammer fists on them. Like there's really nothing much you could do.
Yeah, my I'm a competitive freak, so I'm always looking for shit to do. I play a little bit of men's league softball, but like my boys are in a big pickup basketball league, and I love to go. I hang out on the bench. I'm not a coach. I don't know. They call me coach, but I literally got fucking tossed the other day because I'm so competitive. I just want to be playing. Like I wish I was good at basketball. Like I can shoot a hoop. I'm 5'10". I can't jump. Like I got an ugly jump shot. It's just I don't know. That's just my like little basketball versus wrestling rant. I had to get that off my chest. It's
Yeah,
been eating at me for 2 weeks.
I used to play pickup basketball a lot. Trying to think what summer it was. I want to say my freshman year of college that summer. I played a lot of pickup basketball to the point where like I wasn't gonna say that I was getting like good, but I was getting to the point where like I could actually play and not embarrass myself. Like I was a very streaky type of player. I'll go and like I would hit five threes in a row, or I would miss like just 10 shots, and they could be anything from layups to 4 foot jumpers. Like I would miss 10 shots in a row or hit five threes in a row. So you never know what you got with me.
Like this last year with Corona and everything being shut down in New York, like there were very limited places to work out, do anything. But there was one pickup, like one hoop behind in one of my boys' house that we all played pickup at. And the only time I was allowed to play is if our other friend was there. Shout out Money Mike. He's equally as bad at basketball as me. He happened to be my drill partner. So like whenever we're making teams, instead of like captains, the two best players split, it's a two worst players split. Me and him go and we go from there because we just can't be on the same team. But or else like I'm not playing pickup basketball because my friends are just gonna run circles around me. I'm the midget. Kind of sucks. All right. Um, Anything else you want before we get into the sports stuff? Anything you want to talk about? Get off your chest.
Oh man, there was something. Yes, there is. It's got to do with it's got to do with sports, but
Let
not
it go.
really.
Let it go.
Let it. I really, bro. What the what the hell is Jacob Degrom doing wrestling his catcher? Uh, Before the game, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw. I fucking love it.
I'm sure you love it, but I'm sorry, but with the guy's injury history and his last cup, like the last month, he's been pulled from like 3 starts. I don't know if I'd feel too comfortable with watching him going and wrestling with the catcher in the outfield. I don't know if I like that too much.
It wasn't my favorite thing to see the video at first. However, once I saw that it was a great mat return. Like it really was. Like
You
he
could
got
tell Degrom was that type of guy. He
well,
definitely wrestled in high school
supposedly
or at one.
he's the most athletic person on the team. I kind of
Yeah,
believe it. He can do literally everything in
I
baseball.
wouldn't doubt it. The
Future
guy,
he's going to be the
the guy
MVP
got the,
this year.
yeah, he's
Getting
got the
his third Cy Young. Like, yeah, I guess you're probably right. I would not like. I don't know. I'm down with the boys just having fun. Like, Oh, he's the only one that's pitching well. Him, Stroman are okay. Stroman got banged up his last start, but
Yeah.
we're gonna. All right, we're gonna get. Me and you can do Mets Yankees
All day
literally for
long.
an hour and a half every single episode. This week's a little bit different. I guess we'll kind of preview a little bit. We're gonna jump around a little bit. We'll start NBA. Got some just major NBA news. Go from that. Then we're gonna get into a little bit like Jets Giants breakdown, kind of what some way too early predictions and thoughts from your two Jets Giants fucking loser fans. Then Subway Series. Anthony and I, we're gonna place a big wager between the two of us.
Hmm.
It's only fitting. Mets Yankees. It's at the stadium this weekend. Actually, I don't remember if they ever played on July 4th, so it's gonna be really cool. I'm actually trying to go, but that's a different story. But uh, one other. All right, so we can just get right into the topics. Lakers are about to hire Fizdale.
Hmm. Yeah.
You're a LeBron boy. You're a LeBron sexual, as some have called it. Let me.
Easy on that. I'm a fan of the best player on my team. The second that he ceases to be the best player on my team, you will catch no LeBron love from me anymore. I'm telling you right
Really?
now.
So you were only a LeBron fan when he came to the Lakers.
Of course, I'm a Laker fan. Like I'm not gonna trash. I'm not gonna trash the guy that just won us a championship. But I'm not. I
Does the
never
championship
been a
count
LeBron
though?
second.
Does it really
Yeah.
count?
Yes, it counts. I don't want to hear about that Mickey Mouse ring bullshit. All right, they had to play a full playoffs. All right, everyone wants to go cry about it. The Lakers did what they needed to do and they won.
All right. So what do you think about them hiring Fizdale? He never worked out
Uh
in New York.
yep,
Does it
yep.
does it matter in the NBA or what?
I think it could matter. I know LeBron and like a lot of other guys like used like really liked Fizdale, and I know he didn't work out in New York. And honestly, it does. I don't think it really depends on if you're a good coach to work out, especially with the Knicks. I think you have to be a certain type of person. Like Tom Thibodeau is the type of person that can make it work with the Knicks. Like 100%, he's the type of guy that can make it work. David Fizdale, not really. Like you can't have a full players coach on the Knicks. You got to have somebody that's going to get into them and really light a fire under their ass. Uh, Listen, he's the assistant coach, so he's not going to have, he'll have like he'll have vocal leadership and all that good stuff. But it was kind of just I see it as LeBron just getting one of his boys into his team, because LeBron has been high on Dave Fizdale forever. So I just saw that as kind of like a favor to LeBron. Yeah, we'll bring Fizdale on as assistant coach. I mean, it is what it is.
This is going to show how tuned I am with how in tune I am with the NBA. But to be honest, I thought Fizdale was hired as the head coach. So my whole rant was going to be that being a head coach only matters from like the very few people, and I don't think LeBron and Anthony Davis team, the head coach, really matters. But then you look at the Nets and you thought their team, and I think Steve, if they had a better coach than Steve Nash, maybe things are a little bit different. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This NBA is. Give me your thoughts on this NBA Final Four. It's the Suns, the Bucks, the Clippers, and the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you this. Definitely, if you asked me before the season, I don't think I would have had us. I would have had maybe the Bucks in my Final Four. That probably would have been it.
Have you watched any basketball? You been
I've
enjoying
watched. I've
it or
watched.
no?
Yeah, I've watched. I've watched almost every game. I'm not like not beginning to end. Like I'll catch it maybe at halftime or like early second quarter or something. Like I've been watching it, but I don't know. This playoffs is very weird to me in the fact of like not the Western Conference Finals, because I think the Clippers and the Suns are both extremely good teams. We knew that the West was a really tough conference all along, and it was really just going to come down to whether the Lakers could stay healthy, which they couldn't, so that's why they lost. The Suns, in my opinion, were the next best team. I thought the Jazz were frauds the whole year, and they proved that. And now, and you got Devin Booker showing out. This is based. I would say this is almost like Devin Booker's coronation as becoming one of the premier guards in the NBA. Like for a while, he was always viewed as the young gun kid that he's got potential, but he's on the Suns and the Suns suck and he never goes anywhere. Well, that all changed this year. So I think the Western Conference Finals is pretty fair, and I think whoever wins that playoff series is going to win the title. Now, the East is so whacked because I did not expect the Bucks to get past the Nets. I didn't think the Hawks were going to even get past the first round, especially with the way that they played in the first half of the season. But the Hawks really surprised me. I mean, they even won. They won last night handily without Trae Young, and you're going from the guy who pretty much orchestrated the entire playoff run for the Hawks. He wasn't even playing, and they still managed to kick the crap out of Giannis and the Bucks. And Giannis ended up getting hurt in that game. So that series could flip upside down in its head if Giannis doesn't play and Trae Young's back.
Just super injury-ridden playoffs, which really sucks because
That too. That too.
especially NBA and baseball is like this too, where and even hockey, where your local broadcasts are so regional, where you don't really get that much, and you get your national games and ESPN and TNT, they all kind of rotate through them. But it would be nice for the sport to have their premier players in the playoffs, and it's just not happening. Giannis, I don't know what the deal is. Chick stirring up. First, I thought Giannis is out because Chick, all of a sudden, the NBA chat's like, yeah, Giannis is done. Then literally 2 minutes later, I get an alert from Woj. His MRI was clean. It's like Alex is just stirring the pot. But
Yeah, pretty much.
but even still, it sucks that players are hurt. I would love to see Kawhi balling out, like see what this that full team is really like, and if they're capable of doing it. Because Paul George has really been carrying his weight, and then some. Playoff P
Yeah.
is, he's sick and tired of being like the laughing stock. But to be honest, like I'm all about Chris Paul this year. I hope he gets his ring. I hope he goes and gets it. He's been on some shitty teams, some shitty situations.
Yep.
Duke has been in the NBA as long as I've been watching, but he could finally get one. That'd be cool, especially for Phoenix. I like Booker. I like that team, and DeAndre Ayton's fun to watch. Dude just flying around everywhere.
Yeah, you know what? I'm still very salty about Chris Paul. Back in I want to say 2013 when the Lakers literally made the trade to trade Pau Gasol for Chris Paul, and David Stern, the commissioner at the time, vetoed the trade and said that the Lakers would be too unfair, which was bullshit because then he went and traded them, and he was the owner of the Hornets at the time,
Yeah, he had a
and
stake in the
he
Hornets.
had
I
a
just
stake
learned
in
that
the Hornets
recently.
and traded them and traded Chris Paul instead to the Clippers, which I thought was just utter bullshit because that was unfair. But Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh, that was fair. Okay, I'm sorry because Kobe on the tail end of his career with one other superstar and young Chris Paul, you wouldn't allow that, but you're gonna allow LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, two of the best players, uh, basically in the NBA at that time. If you want to even say LeBron was definitely one, and Dwayne Wade was easily top five.
Yeah.
So I mean, and
I
then
guess the,
Chris
di-
Bosh
the
was
difference
was
was the
top
free
15. So
agency,
come on.
but I agree. The fact that, especially if you look at that moment where they're like NBA Stern's like, no, we want our teams to be equal and balanced,
Mm-hmm.
and then now look where we are 8 years later, where it's just fucking super team, super team, super team. But then you look right now, there's not a super team in the Final Four. It's just
That's the thing. That's the
so
thing that's crazy about the NBA.
it's such a
Like
players run league.
it's a player's league, and you know what? I understand that there's not much that they can do about free agents signing here and there. It's the problem I have is when a team goes and makes a trade and then they veto it and declare it unfair when you'll have the off season before you got three superstar free agents all teaming up on one team. Like I'm sorry, but it's just something to me that just seems a little ridiculous. And uh I think it is good for the NBA though that I think it is good for the NBA that the Lakers and the Nets both didn't make the finals, or not even the finals. They didn't even make the conference finals. I think it's good for the NBA because, you know, I just think back to when the Warriors were like kicking everyone's ass, and it was Warriors Cavs every year for 4 years in a row. People were starting to get turned off to that, especially when KD went there. Like no one even watched. I know I just stopped watching the playoffs at that point because the Warriors just steamrolled everybody. So I think it's good for the NBA to see surprise teams making a deep run in the playoffs again.
It's good for those cities too. I mean, like Milwaukee, the Bucks, I would have never thought that Giannis was capable of bringing a team this far, and I still am kind of skeptical that he's gonna have
Hell
enough
no. Yeah, me
have
neither.
enough to do it. But like the fact that the Bucks are still in it this late, they have someone to root for. This is I'm not going to say this is completely my take, but I'm just getting ahead of it. The ratings debacle that's going to come out, they're going to be like, oh, the NBA ratings were down. This is why we need the super teams. This is why we need the
Mhm.
Lakers, the Nets.
Yep. Yep.
They're also having their playoffs smack dab in the middle of July. Like, it's hot as shit. You feel like it's never
Yeah.
usually this late, and like, no one really watches TV in July.
No,
Everyone's
normally
outside. Exactly, it's over
no.
by now. So,
Yeah, normally it's over in early June. Like this
so
is really late.
the woke crowd is going to be all over it, like, for every different angle, because it's the NBA and their social justice activism, that type of stuff. So people are going to be like, no one watch the NBA for this reason. No one watch the NBA because there's no super teams.
Yep. Yep.
No, it's because it's middle of July. It's the summer and people have better things to do. And everyone's living their life for the first time in over a year. Everyone's just not locked in their house watching whatever you
Exactly.
throw on. So just all you freaking ratings geeks, you heard it here first. That shit don't matter. Um, I guess before we wrap up the NBA, who you think it's gonna be? The Suns?
I hope the Suns win. Who do I y- like? I hope the Suns win, but at the same time, I also think the Suns have the best team remaining. Although the Clippers kind of scare me because if Kawhi ends up being able to come back at any point in this series, whether it's tomorrow night,
Well, he's out. He's out
or
for the conference finals. They announced that for sure.
so he's fully out.
Yeah, he's probably tore his ACL, but they're just doing the hockey. They're all the old hockey treatment.
Yeah, I tell you what, I like the Suns to win. I think they'll get it done. I think they're going to go to the finals. They're going to beat either the Hawks or the Bucks. I don't think either one of those teams have enough firepower to beat the Suns.
We're definitely getting a little bit ahead, but this is the last thing we're gonna do in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard, I actually did this news post a few days ago. He's unhappy with the Clippers medical staff. Not the
Of
first
course,
time.
of course he is.
Yeah, Carl also
Of
had the
course
same
he is.
blog, but like, so he's gonna be a UFA at the end of this season. Think he goes elsewhere, or you think he's standing out in the Clippers?
I don't know. I genuinely think that no matter what happens, yet again, he's going to leave and go somewhere else. And we're just gonna. This is Kawhi turned himself into a super villain, and not even a super villain that's like a Trey Young, where like it's kind of exciting and like it's one of those things where he
I think
draws
Trey Young's only
attention
a
and draws.
supervillain to New Yorkers. I think he's only a supervillain to New York and the Garden just because he was taunting us. But I don't
I
know
mean,
if like,
probably.
but yeah, continue what you were saying about Kawhi. Go.
Yeah, but Kawhi, he just like all right. I get he had problems with San Antonio. All right, whatever. You know what? Every player has the right to go, and you want to leave, whatever. Okay, so he left, went to Toronto. My issue was he should have stayed in Toronto because he had the best situation he could have hoped for to have there. Won the championship in with the Raptors. It was their first championship ever. He's basically a hero of the freaking city. Okay. He was a perfect fit on that team, and it was exactly what that team needed. Everyone else on that team ate because Kawhi Leonard was there and he was balling lights out that playoff run when they beat the Warriors in the finals. He should have stayed there. I think it was a bad move to go and like go to LA and be on the Clippers of all teams. I get he wanted to go home, but I'm sorry he picked the wrong organization. Like the superstars, I think, really need to realize this. No matter who the Clippers owner is, no matter how much money they got and what their jerseys look like, they're still the Clippers, and they're always gonna be the Clippers. You like, why would you go to a city where it's not it's not a Clipper town, it's a Laker town, and it's never gonna that'll never change. That'll never change. And especially bothered me when Kawhi did that whole commercial where he had like the crown on his on his car's rear view mirror, like dangling, like throwing shots of LeBron, like, oh, I'm the new king, and then they blew a 3-1 lead to the Nuggets, and
Tough.
and yeah, and then the Lakers went on to win the finals. Like it was like,
But I don't really fault him for wanting to leave Toronto because he didn't choose to go there. He's going to like he goes from San
I
Antonio
get it, but
all the time.
he won the finals. He won the
Yeah,
finals. Like how
just
like
because he's a great basketball player doesn't mean he doesn't get to play where he wants. Now,
eh,
however, if he leaves LA and this becomes more of a story, if there's any truth to this like dispute with the medical staff, then he does become that true supervillain. Because I remember when he was first sitting out in San Antonio, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but like I get it. He doesn't think he's healthy. I didn't think that was going to go on for a full year. Then that goes on for a year. All right, they got rid of him. They sent him to Toronto. Now he's good. But if he does the same thing again, the issue is going to be Kawhi. It's not going to be. It's not the medical staff. It's
That's the
not.
problem.
Now it's
how many medical staffs are going to be this inept? I mean,
right.
really.
They're the NBA. They're the best medicine, especially in like we just talked about how players run it is and how influential the players are in this. Like they get who they want. They get their own doctors. So there's no way Kawhi just like now starting to have a problem now with the medical staff. So I'm just curious to see what happens. If he goes elsewhere. I really don't think he's gonna go. Maybe this was all a Skip Bayless story. So God knows if it's even true. So
Yeah, we'll definitely see about that one. I got some high doubts, but we'll see.
all right, we'll pivot to a little NFL talk. We're getting close to NFL.
I know. I'm
It,
super excited.
I,
I'm pumped.
I'm stoked on so many levels. I guess I should do a little like programming note. Once football season comes around, this podcast is going to be 50% talking about our picks and our last week's
Oh,
pick. It's going to turn
un-
it's going to turn into a gambling show. It's one of my specialty. I know and specialty, so it's going to be. And to be honest, it's something that we're both like very in tune with and passionate about, and easy for us. So that's so come football season, the show's gonna look a little bit different. We're still going to be trying to interview people, still doing other stuff, but I guess I should also say that since we already did the first half, the first part of the show, this episode is going to be just me and Ant. Last week we did 3 Zoom links with Trey, so it was an hour 45, probably the longest podcast I've ever done, longest podcast I will ever do. Editing it was a real pain in the ass, but even just like even just in general, like me and Alex, me and producer Alex were talking about it. It's a lot to listen to, an hour 45. Obviously with Trey, it's a little bit different, and the plan is to always do like a segment of us and a segment with guests. But last week we just did so much with Trey, and it was obviously a great conversation. We got some good feedback on it, and I appreciate everyone watching it. But so this episode we're gonna kind of balance it out, do just us. This is what we are Empire's finest, and then next week we're trying to get back to guests and all that stuff. But all right, that was all of our housekeeping. Back to the NFL. I'm gonna start with you. What are your thoughts on like the Giants this year? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Where are you at?
This undoubtedly has been the most excited I am for a Giants season in a very, very long time. Couldn't like I can't even put into words almost how excited I actually am for this season. It's been it's been long since I've actually had high hopes for a Giants team. Like last year, I was just hoping that Daniel Jones was going to progress a little bit, that we were going to be not completely terrible. He regressed, but you know what? The team actually had fight in them. They actually showed heart. And I was super happy the fact that Joe Judge, I think he's our coach. I think he's the guy. Loved what he did last year. And I'm super excited. We had a great offseason. Dave Gettleman basically fooled everybody. I thought he was a bumbling idiot. I've written like at least 3 or 4, maybe even 5 posts about him. I wanted him fired like early last season, and he bought another like year and a half on my good list with the draft that he had, the signings that he had. Like I tell you one thing, Daniel Jones. Like I'll tell you what I'm expecting from the Giants. I'm expecting to win the NFC East. I'm expecting to make the playoffs. I'm not gonna say we're gonna win the Super Bowl or anything. I still think our quarterback's too young for that, and I don't think like Daniel Jones is not a super special talent, but I think he can be a good enough quarterback to win us games and potentially win the Super Bowl if we have the right help around him. And this is that year. Like this is the year he's got all the help he needs. If he regresses this year, like that's it. Like that's it for him. He can't play because you could give me literally 15 other quarterbacks that would have an offensive Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, Kenny Galladay, uh, the rookie Kadarius Toney, and I mean, I don't even want to mention him, but stupid ass Evan Ingram, who got bricks for hands, and
That dude
I
don't
don't
catch
even think he's
shit.
good.
That dude can't even catch fucking COVID in the pandemic. Never mind a fucking football down the middle.
Hell no, hell no.
But be real. You really think that Daniel Jones, if everything went perfect for him, you trust him to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, but that's
You're out of your
but see, that's
mind.
the problem
You're out
is
of your
everything
mind.
has
The
to go
dude
perfect.
can't hold on to the ball.
No,
He's
no,
got.
I'm not.
You're out of your mind. Like, come
I,
on.
I everything
What?
has to go perfect though. Like if one thing goes wrong, it's it's not gonna happen, but it has to be perfect. That's what I'm saying here. Like,
I,
do I think that Daniel Jones is gonna be like leading Giants in 14 point comebacks? No, I don't. I think if they're down 14 points, the game is gonna be almost over unless the defense uh makes some magic happen. But I think it's got to be absolutely perfect. Listen, you can't say. I mean, Daniel Jones has shown flashes that he could be a decent quarterback. Now, yes, I know the turnovers have been ridiculous, and I have ripped him to shreds for this multiple times. The only problem is that's who we have right now, and like I have to put my faith in him. At least I gotta at least give him out the first 5 weeks of the season before I write the book on him and close it, and that's it
do you
for
start
him.
every season with so much optimism or no?
No, not even close.
So
Not even close.
you're really like buying into the Daniel Jones. Is it more Daniel
Oh
Jones
yeah.
or is it Joe Judge?
It's more Joe Judge and the weapons that Daniel Jones has around him right now. But it's definitely more Joe Judge. If we didn't have if we didn't show the type of fire and like fight that we did last year, and we had a coach that was not like Daniel that was not like Joe Judge, excuse me, at all. If we had a coach like Aaron Boone, I would not be very optimistic for this season. I think Joe Judge is changing the culture in the locker room. It hasn't changed completely, but I think he's got them on the right track. And personally, that's my guy. Love him.
Yeah, I'm not usually a fan of the bring the college guys in, and unless you're for some reason like an elite football mind, but like we've just kind of seen history repeat itself. Nick Saban never really worked out. Lane Kiffin, all these great college coaches never succeed in the NFL, mostly because you're very different. I think college coaching is a lot
Yeah,
about recruiting and building culture and having these 18, 19-year-old kids buy in. But when you're in high school, not your high school, when you're in the pros, these guys they're good. They know they're good. They have a chip on their shoulder. It's definitely like a different like clay to mold. But for some reason, whatever Joe Judge's magic he was selling, they were all buying it because you were right. That team did kind of battle back, and even in the worst division, they they were like, what are they, 5 and like, what they finish? Six and
they
ten.
yes, they
Six.
finished with 6-10. And I mean, when you
It's
start off the
crazy that
season one and
they
seven,
were
finishing six and
they
ten is
were at
good.
one point in a playoff position. Like there, it was looking like they were a chance to make the playoffs, and then they finished 6 and 10. That's just the
Oh,
division. But
absolutely. I
kind
mean,
of just like going
yeah,
off of Jones, if Jones regresses, how much like then your Gettleman like safetiness has to be go away because you don't want him taking another quarterback, do
see,
you? Like
that's that's
they're tied together,
that's the issue.
right?
Yeah, 100%. They are tied together. I almost feel like you have to fire Gettleman if Daniel Jones doesn't work out. The problem is that Gettleman just made it like really he's trying to make it as hard as possible on the Maras to make that decision, even if Daniel Jones works out or not. Because I mean, you just got to look at like he brought in the big fish free agents that you needed him to bring in, re-sign the people that you needed him to re-sign, had a hell of a draft. I mean, he did basically almost everything in his power to make it hard for the Mariners to fire him if Daniel Jones doesn't work out. However, I do think that no matter what happens, if Daniel Jones fails, Dave Gettleman's gone too,
Because you don't want him
because
taking the next quarterback.
you can't trust him getting another quarterback. You just got to swap out Dave Gettleman, bring in somebody else, and be like, listen, you got free reign, draft your quarterback, and build the team. I don't want to say build the team back up because we have a lot of pieces. Like we really do have a lot of pieces. We got a pretty solid defense. I mean, the offense is we got a lot of weapons. We got a shit ton of weapons. The offensive line is still shaky. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's still shaky, but I see it as this: if Daniel Jones is putting the Giants in a position where they're winning games, but he is playing terribly, and they're like hovering around the 500 mark, I think they go out and try to trade themselves for like a veteran quarterback, and they just kick Daniel Jones to the curb and try to make a playoff push without Daniel Jones, and just basically tell Gettleman, listen, the end of this playoff run, you're done. I could
I
see
mean,
that happening too.
if Gettleman can somehow make a move to bring in a good quarterback, and he shows that he can move pieces around to bring in a veteran guy, in that situation, like you said, then maybe you don't fire Gettleman. But we kind of hit the nail on the head. You can't trust Gettleman to bring in another quarterback in a new system without, if you don't think Jones is the guy, because for the same shakiness, like, I don't know. This quarterback class doesn't look great. I don't know if I want him taking the next guy. Joe Judge to me gets the rest of his contract no matter what, because
Oh,
the
100%.
team likes him, fans like him, so they're going to give him. I'm assuming he signed a 5-year deal. So last year was year one. He'll get, these next 4, because I'm assuming that Jones is going to flutter out, and they're going to have to redo this GM quarterback process again, and then
Yeah.
but then you get in a situation where you're like, do you want your general manager to go hire a coach that he wants versus him inherit a coach? And then it's an endless cycle of like, you have to start over everything at the same time. Because like Joe Douglas in the same spot, like if
Yes.
Zach Wilson doesn't work out, like Joe Douglas has not proven he's been a capable GM with this franchise. So I don't know what the deal is. I did like him getting. I was personally a fan of this draft, taking Wilson and Vera Tucker from the USC, and both in the top 10. I think that was important. But one last thing on the Giants before we leave. But like, now I think we're 3-4 years past drafting Saquon second overall. Do you go back and change that pick or no? If you could do
Yeah,
it again.
I go back and change that pick.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do too. I
And
think in that specific example really proves to me why taking a running back in the first round is just never worth it. I think the Steelers are going to pay for it with Najee this year.
they are,
Right.
and it's not worth it. And at the same time, the Giants, like, they didn't have a good offensive line to begin with. So no matter how good your running back is, I mean, what are they going to do if there's no offensive line? And Saquon's first and second year were just, I felt so bad for the kid because he had nowhere to run. I mean, you saw the first. I mean, if anybody watched the first game this year that we had, Monday Night Football against the Steelers, Bud Dupree was on Saquon Barkley's ass every time he touched the ball. It was like within a matter of 0.2 seconds, Bud Dupree's in his face, and there he had nowhere to run. So I was not a fan of that to begin with. I thought we should have got a quarterback. Also, the whole Gettleman when he first came in thought Eli had like 2 or 3 more years. I said, bro, Eli's almost 40 years old, dude. I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing here? That was
The
he
way that
honestly should have been gone.
the way the Giants handled the whole Eli Manning debacle was just like an all time, like, you do not know how to handle a star player,
No,
like ruining his
not at all.
streak,
That
like
was so
all of
bad.
it was everything was just so bad.
I love Eli. I really do. I didn't like the way they handled that with him at all. Uh, I didn't think he had anything left. I mean, sure, if you wanted to say like you wanted to go to him and be like, listen, uh, we're gonna be fully rebuilding. Like that's just what it's gonna be. Now you could have gave him the choice. You said if you want to retire or tell us, or if you want us to trade you, and we'll trade you somewhere, uh, and put you in a good situation, and maybe you can have a last run at a Super Bowl if you want, or if you want to retire a Giant, that's cool too. I feel like that they should have did something like that. Breaking his streak for Geno fucking Smith
That's the
was the
best
most
part, was that it's Geno
ridiculous.
Smith.
Was the most like I could understand if it was a guy like if it was a situation like Trey Lance, like if it was like a Jimmy G Trey Lance type of thing, and we had like the next guy waiting in the wing to take the key.
Or even
That
a
I would
guy waiting,
a guy.
anyone waiting, that's not Geno Smith. And the best part about it being Geno was that you got all these New York, like, you got Craig Carr and you got all these fucking
Yeah,
WFAN
yeah,
guys who are like, we fucking know how Geno Smith is. Like,
yep.
everyone in New York saw Geno Smith. We've lived the Geno Smith experiment. Whether you were rooting for the Jets or or like laughing at the Jets, everyone
Yeah,
witnessed the Geno
you
Smith
knew how that
saga.
went.
So
Yeah,
there's
you knew how that
no,
went.
yeah. And I think at the time, everyone even kind of realized, everyone knew that Eli was a better option, which is Eli being a better option than anyone at that point of his career was crazy. But they picked the one guy that, you know,
They literally picked the one guy that you could not even make an argument to start over Eli Manning. Like that's crazy.
yeah. Um, the Jets, I kind of, I don't even know where I think a lot of it, like we kind of hinted at before, a lot of it's going to depend on Joe Douglas's future, how this year goes. I'm not expecting
What do you
much.
think? What are you thinking? What are you thinking the Jets do? I'm not like I know damn well. Listen, you got a rookie quarterback. I know the expectation for the Jets. I know it's not going to be high, but
So my expectation for the Jets are actually absolutely none. Um,
none.
just
Good,
be
good.
just
Don't
because
have any expectations. You'll never get disappointed.
they're the Jets. B, I don't know if Zach Wilson was a guy. I don't know, and we did our own little vendetta simulator. I don't know if I took him as the Jets, and I still don't know if he's the guy. I don't know if there was like a clear number one. Fields kind of a little bit of revisionist history. Now everyone is like, oh, he's the best he's going to be the best of the class. Well, where was all that energy all lead up to the draft? Because everyone's shitting on the Ohio State quarterbacks. But anyway, I think it's hard to tell, but I think I'm going to buy into the Robert Salah hype. Um, I see him as a very similar to what Joe Judge is doing.
Exactly.
Obviously not
Exactly.
coming from the college ranks, but like I love a coach that needs a hold me back guy. Like that's my kind of guy.
That's a
I want to go to war for that guy. So like whether I was playing or I'm watching, like I'm gonna root for him. And I don't know if this was the best spot for him to kick off his coaching career. We've seen it. Todd Bowles, he's probably gonna get another head coaching job elsewhere because everyone realized he's a decent one. But everyone's whether he just gets his first 2 years experience with the Jets and moves on. I'm kind of all about him when it comes to the actual Jets. We'll see. They have not given me a reason to believe even a little bit. So it's the Jets. The goddamn Jets. They suck
listen.
forever.
I hear you. I hear you. Although I think Zach Wilson can. I don't want to say be the guy. I hate using that term. I feel like he can be
Hey
good.
Anthony,
I'll put it that way.
would you like to have a Mormon as your quarterback?
Honestly, I would not mind having a Mormon as my quarterback.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
All right, you want to switch quarterback? Actually, I don't even want to switch quarterbacks. I don't want Daniel
You
Jones.
wanna? You wanna?
No, no, no,
I'm
no, no,
game.
no,
I'm
no. That was
game.
dumb. That was dumb. That was dumb with me. I don't want Daniel Jones either. The uncertainty of Zach Wilson still might be better than Daniel
If
Jones
you
fumbling over himself.
if I had the chance to swap Zach Wilson for Daniel Jones, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
I wonder if either of them do that. I don't think the Jets do. Giants probably do though.
Giants probably would. Jets would hang up
No
the
way.
phone immediately and laugh at him.
Who knows? Joe Douglas. Let's see what just going back, like I forget the exact details of who signed Le'Veon Bell. I know Gase didn't want him or Joe Douglas didn't want him. I forget
I
which one was
believe it
which.
was. I think Gase didn't want him, but Douglas did.
It's the only thing Gase's ever done right in his life, not wanting that guy. He's kind of like in that same boat as Kawhi now, like Le'Veon Bell, like
Oh, Le'Veon Bell, hundred
very
percent.
similar to like all right, like I get it. You don't like it in Pittsburgh. You want to get paid, blah blah blah. It's not a players league, but then you could go get your bag in New York and just be like, never mind, and then go to Andy Reid, the second best coach in all of that the NFL, and be like, nah, that guy sucks.
Yeah, really. Like,
Like Le'Veon,
did
you're a
you
scumbag,
did
bro.
did you expect to really be used throughout the playoffs? I mean,
It just
the
shows why
Chiefs
paying a
aren't.
running back is one of the dumbest things you can do if you want to win.
It is
It's
because you
it's
don't need a superstar running back to win.
This isn't the 1970s. We don't have Herschel Walkers. We don't have, and we throw the ball like 45 times a game. Like running backs, you rotate through them. You need guys that can catch
Yeah,
passes. Like Tariq Cohen, great NFL running back for 2021. But like guys like Saquon, Le'Veon Bell, Who knows?
There's some exceptions, like a Derrick Henry exception, but that's a very, very special case there.
And they haven't won anything with it yet. They haven't proven that.
Now I just think that's because Ryan Tannehill's their quarterback. I think the second they get a better quarterback, that team can actually do something.
I I don't know. Ryan Tannehill's been pretty good. Anyone? Why you don't like Tannehill because of his gay days? Like no one. Like they. I mean,
No,
Gase
I
ruins
just don't.
everyone.
Oh, I know that. No. I know Ryan Tannehill actually escaped the gates of hell as dubbed by by Jackson and many others. I don't like Tannehill. I don't think he can win you playoff games should you need it. Like I feel like that the Titans are just too run heavy. Although you have Derrick Henry who could run for 200 yards a game, get you 4 touchdowns. Yeah, but at the same time, if they're stopping him, Ryan Tannehill really shows and has showed for a while now that he can't he can't be the quarterback to lead you down the field and score when Derrick Henry can't get it going on the ground. And it's not like the Titans don't have weapons. I mean, AJ Brown is breakout player. I think one of the best young receivers in the NFL right now.
Now they got
And
Julio Jones.
and now they got Julio Jones. So I mean, listen, I don't know. Maybe Julio Jones makes Tannehill a much better player. I mean,
I
that
think
could happen.
I think Julio Jones makes any quarterback a better player. Maybe Matt Ryan
100%.
look good.
Made
All
Matt
right.
Ryan win an MVP.
True. True. All right. Into the best part.
There we go.
Subway Series. We're gonna do this we're gonna segment this a little bit differently. I want you first. You're gonna rant on the Yankees, then I'm gonna rant on the Mets, and then we're gonna come together and bet on. We're gonna come up with the bet. We're gonna workshop it
Absolutely.
live. But first,
Cool.
well, I was gonna say right now they've had a two good so far. They're in the middle of a series with the Angels, and they ran Shohei out of the first inning today.
Yes, they
So,
did.
but give me your thoughts on the Yanks. I know you kind of put it in the Slack channel a little bit, but let's put it on here. What are we doing?
Love it. Okay. Uh this team is like it's it's a tease. They are the ultimate tease. It's like they dangle being a good team in front of you. They dangle like turning the existential corner. Like they go and they take 2 out of 3 from Oakland, who's a very good team, a really good team. You think, oh man, we got some momentum going into Boston. Like, well, we're gonna show up, we're gonna do great. They come out so fucking flat for 3 games in a row. Don't even put up a fucking damn fight in any of them. And it's just like, what the hell happened? I can tell you what happened. I can tell you what happened. The team is just built flawed. They are just a flawed team, and Boone does not help the situation. You had the other day Aaron Boone talking about the season is on the line. Okay, the season is on the line. You know what they did Monday night? They just got their asses. I wouldn't say they got their ass kicked by the Angels, but they basically let the Angels walk all over them. The Yankees' biggest opponent this season is the Yankees. They can't get out of their own way, and it's just like it's really ridiculous. Like I've never seen a team ground into so many double plays, and like Aaron Boone tries to tell me
What?
that good teams
Wait,
ground
Anthony.
into double
That's
plays.
not a good thing.
I mean, I don't think it is.
Getting 2 outs at one time is not good for the offense. What do you mean?
I don't think it is. I mean, I know Aaron Boone is trying to tell me that good teams ground into double plays, although I know damn well that the Rays and the Red Sox are in the bottom of the league and grounding into double plays, and they're in first and second. So I don't know. How do you determine a good team then?
You should have been fired literally right after that phrase coming out of his mouth. Cashman or whoever even makes the decisions anymore. It should have been like, you know what, Boone, your time is up. Like,
So it's so dumb, and at the same time, he is just like a wet mop. Like he used when Boone first got to the Yankees, we had the whole savages in the box thing. We had the let Brett bang. You know what? We like there was actually some fire. There was actually some personality to the team. Whatever is going on this year, Aaron Boone has taken a back seat and has just let his players go out there day after day, night after night, and just stink it up all over the place, especially against good teams. They beat bad teams and then when they play good teams, they get the shit kicked out of them. It is like ridiculous. And they've also been swept like 4 times this year. And that just don't like, you just don't like, that just doesn't happen. I think the Yankees the past 2 years haven't been swept 4 times combined. And it happened, and this year they're already skyrocketing past that point.
Can't be 0-6 versus
Also,
the Red Sox. Can't happen.
no, you can't expect to win anything when you have a losing record against against your two division rivals that show that they're probably a lot that they not even probably they are a lot better than you right now. And they also they let the Toronto Blue Jays absolutely just leapfrog them. The Blue Jays were in no sight at all for contention in the AL East like 3 years ago when the Yankees were there was all this talk about, oh, they just rebuild, like they just went to the LCS, blah blah blah, like they're going to the playoffs every year, like it'll like they'll break through one year. Yeah, well, that never happened. And whether we could go on about the Astros cheating and blah blah blah, you know what? At some point, you just got to win the damn game. Like, I don't even care. Like, you know what? You won games in Yankee Stadium, so you showed me you could win the games. I mean, it's really just ridiculous what's going on with this team. I'm so fed up. I'm like 100% fed up with this team. And then this is what they're going to do to me. Games like this, when they score 7 runs in the first inning and 11 last night, they're going to reel me back in a little bit. And they're going to give me a little bit of false hope. And then we're going to go. I could almost guarantee you what's going to happen against the Mets. They're going to get their asses kicked by DeGrom. DeGrom's going to throw like 7 innings shutout. He's going to throw 7 innings, probably around like 90 pitches, and then the Yankees are going to lose that game. Definitely going to lose game 2. Game 3, it'll probably be one of those games where they're going to it'll be like 5-5, and then the Yankees will just get in their own way and fucking lose. Like, I have no faith in this team. Like, I'm going to bet, believe me, I'm going to bet with you that the Yankees will win the series or whatever. I have to take them. Unfortunately, like, everything in my mind would tell me to do the opposite, because they're not. I see no fight in this team. They have no fight, no nothing. And Aaron Boone, another thing. Just the other day, you're saying the season's on the line. So what did they do? What did he do tonight? He gave Judge and Urshela off days when there's a day game tomorrow that probably is going to get rained out anyway. And you give the 2 best hitters in your lineup going up against was one of the best pitchers in baseball up until this point. He had a pretty damn good ERA, and Shohei Ohtani, I mean, the man.
You couldn't predict that he was going to give up a 7 spot in the first inning. Yeah.
No. But it's like they got lucky on that, because he very well could have went like 6-7 deep of scoreless baseball, and it would have been like, why are you sitting our 2 best players when you just talked about the season's on the line? You need to win every game you can, and you're giving these guys rest days. Also, I can't stand the whole rest days crap. Like, Judge isn't even 30, and I don't think Urshela's 30 either. What the hell are you doing? I mean, where were the days when Derek Jeter and Robbie Cano were playing like 140 games a year?
Fuck Robbie Cano, bro. He sucks.
Robbie Cano was my favorite player when I was like a little kid.
Robbie Cano, don't you know?
Yep. That was my shit. I loved Robbie Cano back in the day, but he left us to go play with the Mariners, whatever.
I know I'm kind of, especially in the American League where you can DH, like, your off day should just be DHing. Just, you don't want to play the field, your arm's sore a little bit.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. Our DH spot is clogged up by freaking Giancarlo Stanton, who can't play the field at all.
Yeah, it's wild. He went from being like an elite outfielder with a great arm, and
exactly.
I know he's buried in right now. Now he can't even play a back-to-back. All right. It's kind of hard for me to rant on the Mets because there's so many different fucking places to start. However, they need offense. They're second to last in home runs, only behind the Orioles. They put Pete Alonso in the home run derby. Like, I don't fucking get why. Dude's barely got 15 home runs this year. Just hit one today. The Mets are currently in the midst of getting fucking steamrolled by the Braves. But anyway, we're coming into a nice 4-game set. I think 3-game set in the Bronx. I'm first of all, I'm fired up. I'm trying to go to July 4th. It's Sunday Night Baseball, July 4th in New York. Mets Yankees. I don't think it gets much better than that. I got my Mets hat.
Oh, he's ready to roll.
I'm ready to
He's
I'm
ready
ready
to
to
roll.
roll. All right, Font. So 3-game series. There's no splitting it. I think.
No splitting it.
All right. My proposition. $100 wager.
Okay.
Whoever, obviously, winner. Mets win. Whatever. If either team gets swept, extra 50. Gotta be an extra 50 piece.
No doubt.
And then,
No doubt. I'll even throw something else on top of it.
well, raise it.
Either team gets swept. Losers got to buy the winner two beers at that place across the street from my job after I get out of work one day.
I was gonna suggest that we just go after the series. We just go directly to Empire, and we do a little vlog content, gambling our winnings. We could do something like that. But I like that idea. Well, we'll throw a few beers in there. I think it's gonna be really fun. Unfortunately, I know you said this earlier. DeGrom is not gonna pitch against the Yankees. Really, luckily for the Yankees. Really unfortunate for the Mets.
Wait, really? He's not pitching against the Yankees?
It's not in the rotation. As much as I would have loved. Some fucking Yankees dumbass beat reporter tweeted out that there's going to be a Cole DeGrom Friday night. That's not true, unfortunately. I would love to see DeGrom carve up the Mets, but instead they're probably going to get today's Wednesday. It'll probably be like Stroman and.
Stroman has pitched pretty well against the Yankees.
Stroman's pretty good. He's having a good year. Probably like Stroman and. I don't even know, like Taiwan Walker and maybe like Peterson, but that guy sucks. The sweep kind of looks unlikely, but on either side. But who knows? I mean, the Mets just aren't hitting right now, which is unfortunate because the Yankees aren't pitching well right now either. Garrett Cole's hands are not sticky anymore. He can't fucking cheat. All right, I do want to wrap up on this. So we got our wager locked up. What do the Yankees do with Garrett Cole? If he can't cheat, he can't pitch. Like what? You still all in on him or no?
What else are we gonna do? There's nothing we can do.
Go get a pitcher. What are we? Go get a pitcher. That's what you could do.
You expect Brian Cashman to go get a pitcher? First of all, this stupid asshole Brian Cashman goes and talking about we're all in this together and I'm going to do whatever I need to fix this team. He ain't fixing damn well shit. I know damn well he's not getting absolutely nobody. He's not getting not a single person because the last time he tried to get somebody, he got Sonny freaking Gray, okay, who just did not work out at all. I don't even got to go into that too much. Brian Cashman is undoubtedly on the top of my shit list. Right, it's Brian Cashman's here, Aaron Boone's here.
Really,
I cannot stand
Cashman more than Boone.
I cannot stand.
Cashman's been around
100%.
though. Cashman's been around though. He's been around for these World Series. He knows what it takes to build a winning franchise. No.
Oh, does he? Does he? I don't know. We haven't won a World Series in 12 years because apparently he's lost his touch.
12 years? When was the last one?
Yeah, 2009.
Shish. More recently than me.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa. You need to come at me like that. It's the Mets. The Mets are going to be big brothers too.
No, I didn't mean like that. I didn't mean like that. I meant like exactly like when you were like, sheesh, 12 years. Yeah, that's what I meant. No, it's okay. I don't like ripping on the Mets too much because it
3 to 5 years,
man. I mean,
Uncle Stevie said 3 to 5 years. All right, one last rant is I love Steve Cohen. I love that he bought the Mets. I love that the Will
Stevie Cohen and his beautiful money.
I fucking hate when he's tweeting mid-game. Like today, he tweeted. He goes,
stop that.
He goes, just turn the game on. How about that offense? After Pete Alonso hits a 2-run home run at the top of the first inning, bro. We haven't even put out our fucking AAA starting pitcher yet. Now let's check. Let's get a final score. Not a final score update. Oh, it's 11-2. Yeah. So
Jesus.
so glad we tweeted about our
Yeah.
offense, Steve Cohen. Like, please, I love that you're on Twitter. I love that you chop up the fans. I love that you want to hear. Hasn't been a black hat. There hasn't been the black jerseys yet. I don't know where the fuck those have been, but I was told I was gonna get black jerseys on Friday nights. That hasn't happened. And just like put your phone away mid game. I appreciate that Pete's hitting a home run and you're excited, but please, Uncle Stevie, just leave it away till the end of the game's over. Give me a little like, how about that win, LFGM at the end, but like, don't give me like an offense tweet when we're scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning because now we haven't scored again and we probably won't score until the Yankees series.
Yeah.
All right, that was it for me. Fine. Anything else you want to get off your chest? Oh, how'd you
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
ice cream,
I'll
bro?
have a couple of closing.
How'd you like
Oh,
the
the ice
ice
cream was
cream?
great. Actually, it,
I
it, it was wonderful.
actually met Fawn in person for the first time the other day. In case Empire's Finest fans want to know, visit him at work.
Yeah, this man Adam goes and brings me ice cream when M&M's on it. I was very shocked.
Listen, we're working on a Saturday. You just gotta hook it up. It was a Saturday, right?
It
Yeah.
was, it was Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All the boys got to eat. So I was around town. Jimmy Soft Serve. Shout out Jimmy Soft Serve, your Empire's Finest. Um, anything else?
Uh yeah. You know what? Yeah. One last quick thing before we go this week, and you know what? Whatever is going to happen at the Subway Series, or whatever happens this week with the Yankees, I just want everybody to know this. Do not let them fool you if they go on a stretch where they win like 7 of 9 games. Don't let them fool you, because the second they go and play the Red Sox or the Rays again, they suck ass, and this team should sell and blow it the hell up. That's it.
Team sell. Font wants the Yankees to blow it up at the deadline. I want the Mets to
Yeah,
give
tired of this.
give me someone then. I need a home run hitter. No one on the Yankees though. No one from that. Those whack ass Bronx Bombers. We'll see
No,
though.
listen, you you
Big
would you,
3 game
you would
set.
get somebody on our team and they would go off. I just know it.
Same way with the Mets though. Anytime someone leaves the Mets, they do well. Like I'll never forget the year we signed Jay Bruce. I think it was 2016. Traded for him at the trade deadline. He was the best player, and he had he had highest average, and then he went like on a 1-for-50 stretch. His
Yeah.
first,
Do
yeah,
you remember when the Yankees had Jay Bruce? I do.
that was this year, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was a wonderful
At least Jay
experiment.
Bruce had like the social awareness to retire and not to
Yeah.
continue to playing.
Oh God. Yeah, because we would have kept running him out there too. Oh, he'll find it. Yeah. Okay.
All right, that's gonna do it for this edition of Empire's Finest. Follow myself at Adam Krieger 1997. Follow at @font1_ after the font before the one. Right?
After the
After
ant,
the ant before
after
the
the,
font.
in between ant and font _. Yep. There you go.
Be on the lookout. We're getting our show. So we're getting our show social set up. Probably either late tonight or tomorrow morning. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Thanks for listening.